Yo, what's going on, guys? And today we're going to be talking about a report that my colleague at HoopsHype.com put out, Michael Scotto, saying that Lonzo Ball is drawing trade interest from several teams, specifically the Minnesota Timberwolves being one of them, the Memphis Grizzlies being the other one, and let me get the last one because I believe it is the Denver Nuggets being the third team. As we'll try, my phone won't refresh as we're doing this, but yeah, Lonzo Ball is a guy that they are allegedly shopping. Yeah, Detroit. My apology, not the Denver Nuggets. Detroit, Memphis, and Minnesota have all inquired about trading for him, while other teams were hoping to get him in the buyout market. But reports coming out that they're unlikely to buy him out. He's averaged so far 10 points on 40% shooting from beyond the arc, 3.5 assists, 3.5 rebounds, and 1.5 steals in about 25 minutes a night in the last 11 games, while he's on an expiring $21 million deal. Now, he's been the best comeback story as he's returned from multiple knee surgeries this year. And to me, I think if you look at the Grizzlies, the deal they would probably do is like a deal surrounding Marcus Smart, in my opinion. That's where I would assume this deal would have to start. And then if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves, that's either a deal around if you're trying to get rid of Julius Randle's contract, or if you're trying to maybe get yourself Mike Conley off the books with some. mm, Yeah, I really think that's only like a Julius Randle. Like you really would not compare Mike Conley with Dante DiVincenzo. And then the Grizzlies, and we said Marcus Smart. While the Detroit Pistons would probably be doing something with Tim Hardaway Jr. What do you guys think? I definitely think it's going to be interesting, to say the least. Yo, what's going on, guys? And today I wanted to talk about a report coming from Jovan Buha of The Athletic saying that the Los Angeles Lakers are interested in Lonzo Ball. Now, one caveat I want to put there is they can trade for Nikola Vucevic if they wanted to use a combination of Gabe Vincent, Jalen Hood-Schifino, Christian Wood, and Cam Reddish salaries. They can trade for Nikola Vucevic. It works. They would only have an increase of $400,000 or about $400,000 in salary. However, they actually can't, like with that same package, can't trade for Lonzo Ball, as his salary is about $1.5 million more, and that million increase of salary actually doesn't make it feasible. So I think, and we talked about earlier this season that reports had foreshadowed that Lonzo Ball might be a buyout candidate if he's not traded at the deadline, as he, not just the Bulls wanting to buy him out, but he would probably request a buyout just because of the situation. And I think this is something to monitor, because if I was the Lakers, and I understand them not wanting to give up too many assets, I would then inquire about Nikola Vucevic, because I think out of all the guys available for trade, Nikola Vucevic would be the cheapest 20-point per game scorer that you could get. And getting Vucevic would allow you to move Davis full-time to power forward, LeBron to small forward, and your team is significantly bigger now. And you have Finney Smith, who can come off the bench or start. Same thing with Dalton Connect. You bring in a guy like Vooch, okay? Then Lonzo Ball gets bought out. You bring in Lonzo Ball coming off the bench, or you move Reeves back to shooting guard and Lonzo starts, and then you have Dorian Finney-Smith, Dalton Connect off the bench, Jared Vanderbilt. Like, this team gets significantly better. And I think the interesting thing about all of this is, if you guys saw what ESPN put out this morning, it's very interesting, just the full timeline of everything. Additionally, Mark Stein reported that the Sacramento Kings don't see a pathway to get Cam Johnson, and we know that Cam Johnson is going to require multiple first-round picks. So at that point, and he's too expensive for the package that we're working with for them to get. So I think this could foreshadow that the Lakers, who, by the way, Jared Vanderbilt was cleared to return on Saturday after being sidelined for almost a year, that we're looking at the current situation with the Lakers, where the Lakers supposedly are being felt pressured from both Anthony Davis and LeBron James that they've made it aware to the front office that they're expressing concerns on if the Lakers can upgrade their roster to compete for a championship. With the February 6th trade deadline just over 2 weeks away, league sources told ESPN that LeBron James and Anthony Davis are growing concerned about the Lakers' ability to make significant roster upgrades with their two tradable first-round picks. LeBron James, a four-time NBA champion, and Anthony Davis, one-time champ, have expressed that they want the franchise to make moves that will significantly upgrade the roster to compete for a championship. Now, the Lakers believe, as well as the co-stars believe, that they are only a piece or two away from competing for a championship this year. And again, like I said, if they want to go trade for someone, trade for Vooch. If there's rumors that Lonzo Ball is going to get bought out, it's probably true that Lonzo Ball is going to get bought out. You could end up having a starting lineup of Vooch, AD, LeBron, Austin Reeves, and Lonzo. Then you put yourself in the situation where you get off the bench Dorian Finney-Smith and Dalton Connect. At this point, you would probably also have, Jared Vanderbilt, Jackson Hayes. Like, that team is a bit better than most people would suggest. So I think that's the most interesting thing about all of it, is that I think this is quite possibly a team that can surprise a lot of people if they play their cards right. That's always been the thing for me, is that I would want this team to make sure that they were going to play their cards right so they can maximize, because I think there is talent out there for them to get. And I believe the biggest thing is looking at the way that they're structuring rosters in the NBA. I think that they have a lot of the tools there. They have a lot of length on the perimeter, and I just think they lack another facilitator outside of LeBron and Reeves, and another legit bona fide scorer in outside of Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Yeah, they got shooters now. Not enough. I think getting Booch would give you a shooter and a scorer. Lonzo gives you a passer and a guy who can score. Obviously, he's not what he is, but he's going to be a great defender. And that's another thing, is they're getting more defense, which is something that they need. And the report says that the Lakers have done their due diligence, engaging trade interest around the league, and are open to using the tradable first-round picks for players who fit for this iteration of Davis James team, as well as several years to come under Redick. That's something that pisses me off, because people, or the Lakers, are acting like it's imperative that they also think about the future. F the future. Think about winning a championship now, figure out the future later. I just think it's quite preposterous at this point to think that that's not going to be something that is going to happen. Sorry. I think he's someone that he is... You got to do what the Los Angeles Rams did and just go all in. Push the chips to the middle of the table. Like, why the heck not? You're wasting your window if you don't do it like this. So, to me, I feel like you got to make sure that your team is able to compete for a championship at all costs. Because if you don't, then you're wasting away the last year or two of LeBron's career when you should be competing, and you're wasting the last few years of Anthony Davis's prime, which again would be pointless. So that's whole thought is what I think needs to be done, as he's going to be somebody that can continue, or they're going to be a team to continue to monitor, because just we're less than 2 years removed from them making a Western Conference Finals run that I thought was really, 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 really impressive, as they were just, again, a few trades away from being able to do what needed to be done after that playoff run, and they lost to the Nuggets. So I just want to hear your guys' thoughts, if you guys agree with me and all that. I honestly did think it was an interesting report. I think it foreshadows that Lonzo Ball is going to be bought out, and they should make a trade for somebody else if they know Lonzo's going to get bought out. Bye.